relationship. What if we had a king? What if we had a president? What if we had a governor? What if we had a mayor?
Yeah.
What if we had folks sitting on the city council?
Yeah.
My God.
Whoa.
That could be committed and sold out to God.
Amen.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? However, the devil didn't like what he was doing. You know, the devil's always on his job. Jesus told us that the thief comes only but to steal and to kill and to destroy. Sometime later, in Jehoshaphat's reign, let's go to 2 Chronicles, chapter 20. Y'all all right?
Amen.
I'm liking this.
I like this.
I'm liking this 2 Chronicles, chapter 20. Because I'm talking about prayer fulfills the will of God. And Jehoshaphat was operating in the will of God because of his prayer life. 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 1. Are you ready?
Amen.
And it came to pass after this also that the children of Moab, that's one enemy, that's one nation. And the children of Ammon, this is the second nation, this is an enemy, okay? And with them others were the Edomites, there's three nations. Beside the Ammonites, three nations formed a vast army and came against Jehoshaphat to battle. Y'all see this? The Living Bible says they declared war on Jehoshaphat and the people of Judah. Now this is crazy, you know. This is crazy, but the devil's on his job, okay?
Yes, he is.
Amen. You think cause you say and you blessed that he gonna let you escape, get away? No, he liked it when he had you. Indeed, when he had you, he didn't like caring nothing about you. Amen. 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 2 say, then there came some and told Jehoshaphat, say, there cometh a great multitude, a vast or a large army against you from beyond the sea on this side Syria, and behold, they are in or at Hazan Tamar, which is in Gedi. This is a problem, but I want to show you how Jehoshaphat handled the problem.
Hallelujah. Thank you.
Show you how he handled the problem. Watch this. Verse 3. And Jehoshaphat feared. The Bible says that God has not given us what? Spirit of what? Fear.
Yes.
But a power, love, and a sound mind. And he feared and set himself to seek the Lord.
Amen.
Jehoshaphat said, I know how to fix this. I can't do nothing with it. I can't do nothing with it. And he proclaimed the fast throughout all Judah. He found himself in trouble. Y'all listen to what I'm saying?
Amen.
He knew who he was. And he said, I know how to fix it. Because I can't do nothing with it by myself. As king, as overseer, Jehoshaphat did not take on this problem by himself like many of us do. Faced with the problem, depending on what that problem is.
Amen.
This was not his problem alone.
Yes, sir.
It was a nation. It was a nation of Judah's problem. It was everybody's problem. So everybody needed to be involved in this equation. Unlike what some of us do as parents today, and throw that in there. Sometimes we still call it protecting our children, or protecting our loved ones from something that they need to know about.
Yes.
Amen.
In the affairs of the state, Jehoshaphat showed a willingness to rely, to depend on the Lord, and got the people involved in the problem. Y'all listening to me?
Amen.
In the time of danger, he proclaimed a one-day fast and prayer throughout the whole nation of Judah. Y'all listening to me?
Amen.
Let me say it again. In time of danger, he proclaimed a one-day fast and prayer throughout the whole nation of Judah. Watch this, verse 4. And Judah, everybody gathered themselves together to ask help. They knew what to pray for because they knew the enemy was coming to fight them, to destroy them. They knew what to pray for. And everybody gathered themselves together to ask help of the Lord. Even out of all the cities of Judah, they came to seek the Lord. Everybody got together. The whole nation fasted and prayed for God's help. Watch this, verse 5. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation before the people. Wait a minute, he stood. All the people was there. Look at the king, y'all. Look at the president of the United States.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm talking. See, I'm looking at the governor of the state of Tennessee. Look at the 2 mayors in Memphis, Tennessee. They're standing before all the people of Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes.
Of the United States of America. President, y'all. Standing, y'all. I'm seeing this now. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Still before the congregation of the people, in the house of the Lord in the church, before the new court. Now I want you to notice how he began to pray, because this is key. This is how he began to pray. Verse 6. And he said, O Lord God of our fathers, art not thou God in heaven? And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathens or the nations of the world? And in your hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee or come against you. He does what Jesus told his disciples to do in the Lord's Prayer, in the Mount Prayer. In Matthew 6 verse 9, Jesus said, after this manner pray ye. Listen to what I'm saying. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed means to sanctify God's name. Hallowed means to respect God's name. Hallowed means to reverence God's name. Hallowed means to bless God's name. This is what Jesus told the disciples to do when they said, teach us how to pray. Amen. This is what Jehoshaphat did. Listen to this. In praise, in worship. Psalm 100 you declare. When you do Psalm 100, you declare who God is.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Stay with me now. I'm going somewhere. God is bigger than big. I said it a little bit this morning. I didn't want to get into my message before I got to the word, before I got to it. See, God is bigger than big. He's larger than large. As you make God bigger and bigger and larger, guess what? Your problem gets smaller.
Yes, sir.
And smaller. Hallelujah. See, when you enter into his gates with thanksgiving,
yes, sir,
and to his courts with prayer, you bless his name. You begin to exalt him. Y'all listen to what I'm saying. You begin to let him know who he is. You tell, I know who you are.
yes,
Got you it.
yes.
You omnipotent. You all power.
Glory.
You omnipresent. You everywhere. You my Father God.
Thank you.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
We enter into his presence.
Thank you.
Next,
Glory.
Jehoshaphat
Hallelujah.
reflects on the past goodness of God. Y'all all right?
Hallelujah.
He reflects on the past goodness of God. He praying, y'all. He praying. He praying. Watch it. He said, art not thou our God, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and gave it to the seed of the descendants of Abraham, your friend forever? He put God in remembrance. James 2:23 say, and the scripture was fulfilled which say, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. And Jesus said, greater love have no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friend. Listen to me. Then Jehoshaphat, what he's saying here, and when he reflects on the past goodness of God, Lord, I remember when you did such and such a thing.
Yes, yes.
I remember, Lord. I remember. See, he know he got a crisis that's coming, so he's exalting God. See, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 25 and 26 say, even I, am he that blotted out thy transgressions for mine own sake, and will not remember thy sin. Put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Jehoshaphat put God in remembrance of his word. You must put God in remembrance of his word. Jehoshaphat is making God bigger and bigger, larger and larger. He's not asking God for anything yet. He is exalting God. Amen. Prayer fulfills the will of God. 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 8. Amen. And they dwell therein, and have built thee a sanctuary therein for thy name's sake. Stay with me now. And they dwelt therein, and have built you, God, a sanctuary therein for thy name's sake. This is what he said. He's putting them in remembrance. Say, if when evil cometh upon us, as a sword, judgment or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear and hear. Guess what he's doing? Guess what Jehoshaphat is doing? Jehoshaphat is taking the prayer that Solomon prayed and put God in remembrance of what Solomon said once they had finished building the temple. This is what Solomon did. This is what Solomon. Listen to what Solomon prayed. This is what Solomon prayed in 2 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 28, 29. This is what Solomon did. Solomon said, if there be depth in the land, if there be pestilence, if there be blasting or mildew, locusts or caterpillar. Solomon is praying this to God, okay? Jehoshaphat take the same thing Solomon did, and he prayed to God. If their enemies besiege them in the cities of their land, whatsoever sore or whatsoever sickness there be, then what prayer or what supplication soever shall be made of any man or any of thy people Israel, that everyone shall know in his own soul and his own grief, and shall spread forth his hands in this house, the temple that Solomon had built. In the 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 12, God responded to Solomon, and this is what God said. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer, and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. Here it is, 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14 through 16. Listen to this. If my people, y'all listen to me.
Come on.
Jehoshaphat, he took the prayer that Solomon prayed. He put God in remembrance. What he had already said to Solomon, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked way, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now, I know that's what we quote, but I want to just look at something just for a moment. I'm almost done for the day. Verse 15 says this. Now God say, mine eyes shall be open, and mine ears attend unto the prayer that is made in this place. Now listen, now you do know God ain't talking about no physical building, right? This body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. He lives in this body. So what God said, now mine eyes should be open, and mine ears unto the prayer that is made in this place are coming from you and me. God said, my eyes are on, watch, I'm listening to the prayer that you make, that you pray. Now have I chosen and sanctified this house. I've chosen you, I've sanctified you, that my name may be there forever, in you, on you, and mine eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually. Jehoshaphat prayed the word. You and me, we got to pray the word. If you want results, pray the word and stand on what God's word says. I'm closing. I'm done. You got to pick it up next week. This is what I want to share with you. Listen to this. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17 through 18. Chrissy, put some worship music. I'm done. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17 and 18 says, pray without ceasing. That means you got to keep, that means just pray. Don't never quit. Don't stop praying. Pray without ceasing. And then it said, in everything, not for what you are in, what you're going to do, but while you're in that, in everything, give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. This is the trumpet call of our day and time. Pray without ceasing. He who learns the trade of praying masters the secret of the Christian art. He who learns the trade of praying masters the secret of the Christian art and becomes a skilled workman in God's workshop. He becomes a worker together with his Lord and Master. You're saved, you're born again, you cannot separate yourself from him. God is looking for a relationship. In conclusion, there's power in fasting and prayer. As you truly praise and worship God, making him bigger and bigger, larger and larger. Your problem gets smaller and smaller. Can't take your eyes off Jesus. Can't take your eyes off him. Keep your eyes on him at all times. And listen. And we want, I didn't get to this part, but we'll get to this next week. It's part of the text. This is what the Bible says, the battle is not yours.
Glory. Yes, yes, yes.
But it's God.
But it's God.
We get to that next week.
Yes.
Father, we're so grateful
Yes.
for this moment, for this opportunity. You blessed us.